Hey everyone, welcome to the first ever episode of Not a Pro Interviews, the only show where video game characters agree to show up because they literally can't say no. And today, we're starting strong. She's a divine dragon. She's got charisma, she's got power, and she's got hair that looks like it was designed by someone who couldn't pick between fire and ice in Pokemon. We's welcome, straight from Elios, the divine dragon herself, Alear.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome. It's a little surreal, but I'm glad to be here.
Now, before we dive in, just in case some folks watching don't know who you are, let's catch them up. Alear is the protagonist of Fire Emblem Engage, the latest game in the legendary tactical RPG series. She wakes up after a 1,000-year nap with no memory, only to find out she's actually the divine dragon, protector of Elios. Along the way, she bonds with allies, fights the fell dragon Sombran, and uses these fancy emblem rings that summon the spirits of classic Fire Emblem heroes. So yeah, if you thought waking up late for work was bad, try waking up late for saving the entire world.
That's a surprisingly accurate summary.
See? Not a pro, but I did my homework. Don't fret. This interview is free of spoilers. Now, first most important question. The hair. Red and blue. Did you do this on purpose before your 1,000-year nap? Or did you wake up like, surprise, I'm a walking Nintendo Switch logo?
It's natural. I don't really think about it. To me, it's just who I am. But I know it can be a little striking to others.
Striking is one word. Personally, I think you could charge royalties to cosplayers for trying to replicate that dye job. All right, 1,000 years of slumber, no coffee, no alarm clock, just straight into combat. How'd that feel?
Terrifying. I had no memory of who I was, and suddenly everyone looked at me for guidance. It felt like being thrown into a storm without knowing how to swim.
Same energy as me playing Fire Emblem on Lunatic. Respect. You're the divine dragon. But you slept through 1,000 years. Did you ever feel like an imposter?
Often, people saw a savior. I only saw someone lost and unsure. But I learned being the divine dragon isn't about perfection. It's about protecting others, even when I'm afraid.
You wake up, meet your mom again, and then she immediately dies protecting you. Did you ever just want to quit right there?
Yes, losing her so quickly shattered me. For a moment, I felt like I couldn't go on, but I remembered it was her wish that I live and that I protect Elios, so I fight because she believed in me.
Meanwhile, when my units die, I just reload the save. You're way tougher than me. So, Alear, when Queen Lumera was killed, it was a devastating moment. But let me ask you something a little tougher. You met her after waking from a 1,000-year nap. You didn't even remember her. Why did you trust Lumera so easily? I mean, this is Fire Emblem. Betrayals and plot twists are basically the brand. She could have just as well ended up being the final boss. Don't you think her death could have been a setup, maybe even fake, just to drag you deeper into some twisted game?
That's a fair point. I woke up to a stranger who told me she was my mother. And yes, I had no memories to confirm it. But it wasn't only her words, it was the way she treated me. The warmth, the gentleness, the unconditional love in her eyes, those are things you can't fake, at least not for long. Do I ever wonder if it could have been a trick? Of course. This world has shown me more than once that kindness can hide a dagger, but in my heart, I believe Lumera was genuine. Even if it was only for a brief time, she gave me something real. A connection and the strength to keep fighting. And I'd rather hold on to that than live in fear of what might have been.
I admire your strength, and this is only the beginning of the story. But speaking of things that might be too good to be true, let's talk about the Emblem Rings. You're summoning legends left and right. Did Marth ever complain about being yanked into another fight after finally retiring?
No, the emblems were always gracious. They never made me feel like I was just borrowing their strength. They guided me, believed in me, and fought alongside me as partners.
See, if it were me, I'd summon Ike at 3 a.m. just to ask how much he can bench press. Truly a wasted opportunity. But let's be honest here, they also completely change the way you build your team. I mean, some people slap Sigurd on everyone just for the movement cheese, others go full nuker with Celica, and don't even get me started on Ike tanks. And of course, check out my favorite Fire Emblem Engage builds. The link is up here.
Strategy is strategy. As long as it helps protect the people you care about, it works.
Okay, heavy question. Veyle, you learn she's the Fell Dragon's daughter. Did you see her as family right away?
At first, I was afraid. Not of her, but of what she might become. But then I saw her heart gentle, kind, and hurting. I couldn't abandon her, so I chose to see her as my sister. And I'll never regret that.
See, that's noble. Me? I'd be like, oh, your dad's the final boss? Sorry, adoption denied.
That's not how family works.
Well, this might be an unpopular opinion. I didn't even build Veyle properly in my playthrough. Like, I benched her. She barely saw combat. Sorry, sis.
That's your choice as a player, but I can't overlook what she did for me. For all of us, Veyle risked everything to defy Sombron, even when it meant standing alone. She fought not for power, but for the chance to be accepted, to belong. To me, that contribution is greater than any stats on a battlefield.
Okay, you win that one. I guess not every unit needs perfect fours to matter. Alright, the fan service question. How does it feel knowing half the fandom spends more time debating your S supports than saving Elios?
I suppose it's flattering. But for me, what matters most are the bonds we form, friendships or something deeper. Every connection makes us stronger.
Beautiful. Meanwhile, I can't even manage real-life friendships without ruining them by picking the wrong gifts. Relationship management is harder than war. Last one. Every battle you send allies into danger. Do you carry the weight of those who didn't come back?
Always. Their faces stay with me. They remind me why I must never falter. Every life lost pushes me to protect the ones still standing.
Okay, chat, drop some hearts in the comments for Alear, because I'm feeling emotions I did not expect on this channel. Alear, thank you for joining us. You fought gods, carried legacies, dealt with family drama, and still managed perfect anime hair. Truly inspiring.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this conversation. Bye.
Now it's your turn, viewers. What question would you ask Alear? If you had an emblem ring, which hero would you want inside it? And who should I drag into this studio next? Marth, Veyle, Lucina? Or should I just go wild and interview Cloud, Joker, or Mario? Drop your answers in the comments, smash like if you enjoyed this divine dragon wisdom, and subscribe so you don't miss the next time I convince another video game character to humor me. This was not a pro interviews. I'm still not a pro, she's still the divine dragon, and together we'll see you in the next battle. Bye.